Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Guys, today we're going to dive into the altcoins. What I want to do is encourage you to take a look at this altcoin with an open mind, okay? I know what you want to hear. Everybody wants to hear that their coin is going to 50x, 100x. I get it. I want to hear that too, okay? But listen to me. I've been through 3 bull markets, and I'm now in my 3rd bear market, okay? And I'm not saying I'm always correct, okay? But I know how these things go, okay? We're going to look at the coin from a technical standpoint. How many of you a few weeks ago, as your coin was going up 60, 70, 100%, was listening to the influencers telling you this time is different, super cycle, Bitcoin dominance is headed down, alt season is here, blah, 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 blah. And today your coin is probably down 50%, okay? Don't listen to the noise, okay? We're going to look from a technical standpoint, okay? I don't know about your fundamentals of your coin. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. We can't predict what may happen later, what partnerships may come in, what scandals may come up. We can't predict those types of things, but what we can predict and know for a fact are things like tokenomics, circulating supply, technical analysis. Those things don't change. So we can look at it from a technical standpoint and take a realistic approach to what this coin might do. If anything comes later, like some sort of hopium or some sort of deal or some sort of thing like that in the economy with your coin, where it gets worldwide mass adoption, great, that's a bonus. But be prepared for less, okay? Or be prepared for a more realistic target. The biggest mistake I made in my first cycle was listening to everyone else who said that my coin was going to 50, 60x. And as I sat here and watched it 10 and 15x, which was great, I didn't take profit because I was waiting on that 50x because I believed the narrative. And I wound up writing that coin all the way back down and round tripping it, right? I learned from that mistake. If you're not at least open-minded to hearing what a conservative approach would be, then you're only showing your inexperience in this market. So don't be inexperienced. If you are inexperienced, at least try to learn, okay? If I think your coin's going to 100x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 5x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 0, I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know I could get way more clicks by just coming in and shouting 100x, but that's not going to serve you anything good in the future. So let's take a realistic approach to these coins, and we'll see if we can figure out where a good bull market top is going to be. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we go. All right, y'all, let's take a look at Arbitrum. I'm on the 1-week time frame on Kraken. This coin dates back on this chart to about March of 2023. Unfortunately, you don't have a prior bear market to kind of see how it chops around in price during the bear market, how it performs. But we do have a bull cycle to compare previous market cap, circulating supply, all-time high, all those kinds of good things. So let's dive right in. You set a price all-time high on ARB in January of 24 of $2.90. Now, here's where I want you to pay attention to. At that time, your circulating supply was 1.28 billion. That's how many coins you had in the market. Your market cap was 2.6 billion, okay? Let's fast forward then to just a few months later here in December of 2024, you actually almost doubled your market cap to a 4.65. So you went from 2.6 to 4.6 market cap. That's how much money was in the asset at the time. However, price was only $1.24 compared to $2.90. That is a significant difference. In fact, that is about 57% less price, even though you had almost double the amount of money in the asset. That's what token dilution or market dilution by token unlocks can do. Again, you had more tokens at the time of your price all-time high. You had 1.28 billion coins, and here you had 4.2 billion. So a significant amount difference. Okay. Fast forward to today, we're at a price of about 8 cents. We have a $526 million market cap and 6.25 billion coins on the market. That's 5 times more than you had at price all-time high. Now, we guesstimate the top of the next cycle to be Q4 of 2029. This could be a little bit different. What I'm about to say could be a little bit different. If your all-time high comes a little before or a little after, it may change slightly, but it's going to be pretty close. At Q4 of 2029, you're going to have 7 billion coins on the market. That is 5.5 times more coins than you had at price all-time high. Therefore, price is going to have to 4x. You're going to have to 4x your market cap all-time high just to reach your price all-time high. So you have to do 4 times better than you did last cycle. That is not likely whatsoever. You're going to have to get an $18 billion market cap. However, maybe you do, maybe you don't. What we can assume is that you might go back to your previous market cap all-time high. You know, just a lot of token dilution. It's going to be hard to push price up. It's going to just keep constant sell pressure, constant dilution pressure. But if market cap reaches 4.65 billion again, just does what it did last cycle, nothing better, nothing worse, you're going to have a price of 66 cents. Okay, so all is not so bad for Arbitrum. At a current price of 8 cents, you're going to be looking at about an 8x. But I don't think this price is done. I think you're going to see some lower prices as we head into the fall here on Arbitrum. I don't know exactly how low you're going to go, but I do think if Bitcoin rolls over in October and finds a bottom like it always does, Arbitrum could come down and see a price area of somewhere around 5 cents or so, 5-6 cents, I would say. And at that point, back to market cap all-time high, just market cap all-time high of 4.65 billion. That's going to give you about a 66 cent ARB, and from 6 cents, you're looking for about a 6.5x, right? 6 cents, no, 10, excuse me. Get my math wrong there. So from about 6 cents to about 66 cents, you're looking at about a 10x. Okay, so not a bad return on investment if you can reach that market cap all-time high, and you can get this somewhere around 6 cents. So that's what we're looking for ARB. That would have you within the value area range. I really don't even think you make it back up to the value area high. This coin has just been, since its release, it's been nothing but just a series of lower highs and lower lows, diluting the market. This is just weighing price down, and it's just going to be really hard for it to get traction. When you have this type of token dilution, it really turns off major investors. However, again, if you just do what you did last cycle, if that's all you do, then you could be looking at a price around 60, 65, 66 cents, somewhere in there. And again, from a price of 6 cents, that gives you a 10x return on investment. So not too shabby if you ask me. If you found this video useful, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. We're going to do more ARB and other altcoin updates just like this, and more in-depth, more local stuff along the way. If you want me to look at your coin, drop it down in the comments below. I'll be happy to do so. I will see you guys next time.